The ocean, our mirror as we rise and fall in the splendor of perpetual movement and growth, in awe of this enchanting blue world above and below. The ocean, tempting seafarers and travelers to discover us. As islanders, we move with the patterns of every cloud, every raindrop, every storm of the warming seas. We search for hidden treasures in the blue depths, a vital source of our daily meals. But if we are not careful, if we pollute and overfish endlessly, we risk losing the wealth of this mysterious blue world that sustains us, that promises recipes for new medicines, energy sources, and countless economic enterprises. If we are not careful, if we allow climate change to spiral beyond control, causing destruction of our coral reefs and their ecosystems, and the sea level to rise, we risk losing the very islands we live on. The Seychelles Islands are leading the way to stop this from happening. As a small island state, it is a pristine laboratory for envisioning future societies based on cleaner, more sustainable living practices. James Alex Michel, the former president of the Seychelles Islands, has a powerful vision. He sees a future where island and coastal nations prosper and grow sustainably, where its people dive into the business of the blue economy, balancing ocean conservation with business innovation, where the world community embraces radical ideas to mitigate climate change, promote cleaner energy, and sustainable development.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like first of all to thank Paul and his team for inviting me to address you at this conference on the highly topical and important theme of ocean sustainability and governance. There could not be a more timely and opportune summit. The World Ocean Council is recognized as a global leader in the field of corporate ocean responsibility. It will be called upon to play an increasing global role in the stewardship of ocean-based activities and ocean governance. We must give it our full commitment and unstinting support to that end. In my opinion, ocean-based activities lack in many instances corporate ocean responsibility. This, together with the absence of a proper international governance structure, leads to irresponsible and selfish practices and policies that are at the core of a multitude of problems that we face today. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea goes some way towards addressing a proper structure of governance of the oceans and their sustainable use. But it is not sufficient. We need strong leadership to make things happen. And the World Ocean Council can provide that leadership, advocacy, as well as an agenda for the future of our oceans. We recognize that our oceans are a single, dynamic global commons. The sustainable development of oceans cannot succeed without constructive collaboration with those undertaking ocean economic activities. Therefore, the private sector is a fundamental, essential partner in ocean sustainable development, in understanding the problems and implementing the solutions. Ocean industries require access and social license to use ocean space and resources in a sustainable way. The best efforts by a single company or an entire industry sector are not enough to secure ocean health and productivity. It requires cross-sectorial development and the implementation of responsible use and stewardship by all sectors. Let me take a few examples to illustrate how the smarter use of the sea can be reconciled with the overarching theme of sustainability. To take the case of Iceland, a combination of dedicated research and sharp business acumen has resulted in a greater use of every fish, 80% if not more, that is landed than in almost any other part of the world. Another example is that of waste management. The sea has for too long been used as a free dumping ground for waste generated on land. There is a vast cleanup operation to be had. This is not just an environmental goal, but again, a huge business opportunity. Waste management is a fast-growing, multi-billion-dollar industry that is barely exploited. Yet, another example is that of harnessing of ocean energy. The world's ocean waves, currents, tides, and temperature gradients are estimated to potentially provide 20,000 terawatts-hour of electricity per year, more than the entire current global generation capacity. There is therefore a need to bring the diverse ocean business community together to develop the needed leadership, collaboration, and synergies. And this is where the World Ocean Council, under the able leadership of the founder and CEO, Paul Holfers, comes in. As a former head of state and government, I recognize that governments cannot do all that is needed alone. The role of government can usefully be to foster and facilitate the private sector's long-term role in ocean sustainable development and to create synergies. We should look towards private individuals, commercial enterprises, researchers, etc., to cross new frontiers. We can only harness the full potential of different sectors through collaboration and not through confrontation. On the subject of the blue economy, I believe that enough has been said and written about it. It embraces not one set of activities, but many, indeed, as many as the sea can offer. The blue economy is not simply about making greater use of the sea, but about making better use of it. The central theme of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 14. The concept is in total synchronicity with the mission and vision of the World Ocean Council. Small island developing states, with Seychelles at the forefront, have played a disproportionate role in advocating this concept. We are only too aware of what is already happening. Fisheries yielding less with the passing of each year, coupled with the growing threat of climate change, extreme weather conditions have become more prevalent, while along the beaches, the evidence of rising sea levels is all too obvious. Livelihoods are threatened, if not the very survival of our low-lying islands and valuable coastal plains. In these circumstances, it is inevitable that we urgently look for sustainable solutions. Understanding the potential of the blue economy is one thing. Making it work is the next step. As a small island developing state, Seychelles has already implemented some of those measures. These include bringing the blue economy into the center of government, securing a unique agreement with our southern neighbor, Mauritius, to jointly care for and develop a submerged feature known as the Mascarene Plateau, which connects our two nations, the fight against piracy using all means at our disposal, including diplomacy, finding new sources of investment, such as the debt to adaptation swap, whereby repayment of an international debt of some $30 million was cancelled in exchange for our investment in blue economy measures. Issuing blue bonds, a device that is based on the well-tried international example of green bonds as a further source of finance. And zoning the use of designated waters. I have tried to illustrate how one small nation can make a difference. Just imagine how much more your own very much larger nations can achieve. The possibilities are as extensive as the ocean itself. And while integrating our goals of sustainability and governance, these can all be seen as business opportunities. Businesses cannot prosper if sustainable development is not at their core. Likewise, without the preservation of the health of the oceans and their sustainability, there can be no human development. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why this conference, which brings together so many representatives from the business community, is so important. It will explore the possibilities of investment in the vast economic potential of our oceans, while stressing on the need to ensure the survival of our planet and the future of humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you every success in your deliberations. I thank you.